Hi, I'm Deena Johnson, and I am from Queens, New York, but right now I live in Schenectady, New York. I'm the second born child to two mentally handicapped parents. My parents adopted a religion that required them to sacrifice a child. I was their sacrifice. They starved me close to death, and I was diagnosed with failure to thrive and malnutrition. Because of this, I was removed from their care and placed into a foster home, and then I was eventually adopted. Throughout the duration of my childhood, I was often brutally beaten. Sometimes I'd be beat for things like coming home from school because I didn't feel well, sitting on the front porch, or just sometimes I would just be beat because my adopted mother felt like I just need to be beat. I was also trained to believe that I was mentally handicapped because my parents were. That was never true. At the age of 18, I had had a child. I was put out of my childhood home and left to live on the streets. I had no idea how I'd survive. I had no idea how to take care of my daughter. I always accepted everything that happened to me with no complaints. I became life's punching bag. I allowed a man to beat me. I was raped. When I confronted my rapist, he put a gun to my head and told me he'd blow my head off. I told him to go right ahead. My daughter was standing right beside me. I guess it wasn't my time to go because he chose not to do it. This was one of the two times that I had had a gun put to my head in the following 2 months. I stayed homeless for about 2 years. I slept on people's floors. We slept on people's couches. And all the time I had my child. I still didn't give up on life. I had no complaints. I didn't give up on myself. To heal myself from the pain of the past, I simply blocked it out. As long as I had a stable job, a nice apartment, a stable relationship, I felt like this was good enough. But I couldn't stop having flashbacks from the past. I became an angry person. I became hard. That's when I realized that I was not healed. Because I was raised in church, I sought counseling from my pastor at the time. I learned that I needed to forgive my oppressors, and I also needed to forgive myself for the abuse that I allowed to happen. Now, I do a lot of community service. I've done some speaking engagements. I'm in the process of writing the book on the story of my life. More importantly, I surround myself with supportive people who remind me every day that I am not my past. I've inherited my trauma because it was part of my life's plan. Like most victims of trauma, at first I blamed myself, or either I blamed the world for being so cruel. I no longer feel that way. I can't hold a grudge against society for what a few people have done to me in the past. I've learned to embrace my trauma because it's unique to me. As an advocate of change, I hope to encourage other victims to see that each of us has a story that is unique to us. We must write our own endings to our own stories. It's my mission to use my life experiences to empower those who feel like they cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. Trauma victims should understand that their strengths overpower their weaknesses. My theory is that we should not allow our diagnosis to become our prognosis. Thank you.